Okay, y'all, so let us talk about the movie Us. Alright, so the movie Us. First of all, shout out to Jordan Peele. $70 million the first weekend it came out. That is amazing. Congratulations. The movie was excellent. But I went to watch the movie on Thursday, and this is how I watched the entire movie from start to finish. That's how I watched it. I don't do scary movies. I'm afraid of movies. I'm not afraid of movies, but I'm afraid of scary movies. I don't watch them. I don't mess with them. I don't, I ain't got I have no portion in my heart for a scary movie. But because it was by Jordan Peele and it stars Lupita and sexy ass Winston Duke, and it's about a black family, I had to go. Alright. So, movie starts with a young Adelaide played by Lupita. Lupita is with her family at the boardwalk. They live in California. And it's in the 80s. And before she gets to the boardwalk, you see Lupita at home watching TV. So she's watching TV, you know, the commercials, 80s commercials. They were, the commercial for Hands Across America came on. So Lupita was just watching TV, right? So that night she went to the boardwalk with her family. It was her birthday. Her dad won her a Michael Jackson Thriller shirt, right? So her dad looked like he had a drinking problem because he was drunk. Her mom was pissed off. They were annoyed at each other. And Lupita was just, I call her Lupita. Her name is, what's her name? Adelaide. I know it's some white girl name. I always wonder why she was named Adelaide. But anyway, so Adelaide is walking behind, basically annoyed by both her parents because they're not paying her any attention, and it's her birthday. So her mom walks off, goes to the restroom, her daddy's playing whack-a-mole, and Adelaide fast ass walks off being nosy. Okay, so Adelaide walks off. She passes this homeless guy who has the sign Jeremiah 11:11. She passes him, went down to the beach, to the sand, and it looks like it's about to storm, right? So Adelaide starts walking towards the, I guess the fun house with the fun house mirrors, right? It said, find yourself. So Adelaide walks her happy ass in there. The dead of night, she's by herself. I couldn't do it. She walks in there, and she's seeing these mirrors all over the place, and she's just walking in there being a mischievous child, basically being someplace that she's not supposed to. And Adelaide sees herself in the mirror, but when she saw herself in the mirror, with the, it's like a mirror, so you see a reflection, but Adelaide saw the back of herself. So when Adelaide actually saw herself turn around, she screamed and she passed out, right? So you see Adelaide, I guess her family found her after like a couple minutes. They took her to therapy because Adelaide was not acting like herself. She wasn't talking. So they assumed it was trauma. Her mom said that she's not the same person that she was before. They don't know what happened. But Adelaide grew up. Adelaide got married to fine ass Winston Duke. I'm going to say that all the time because Winston Duke is fine and he's Caribbean too. He's so fine. Adelaide has her family, you know, she has a husband, has 2 kids, and they are going to the same, where she grew up for vacation. Adelaide is nervous about going there. She don't want to go there because of what happened when she was younger, so she's still a little traumatized by that, right? So they get to the beach house, and Adelaide does not want to go to the beach. She is uncomfortable. She does not want to go. Apparently they were there. The last time they were there, her mom died. So the son, they said that the son was acting a little different since the mom died. So Adelaide just was kind of like, you could tell she was uncomfortable being at the house. So you see the kids in the house doing their thing. The son is hiding, is trying to scare his sister. The sister's listening to her music, not paying any fucking attention to nobody. And Adelaide went downstairs and she saw her ballerina handles, her ballerina bars. The therapist, when she was younger, told her parents that they needed to put her in some sort of activity to maybe get her talking again. So she started doing ballet. So they wanted to go to the beach. The daddy wanted to go to the beach. Gabe is corny as all hell. He is like an 80s TV dad to me. He's just corny as hell, but he's fine. So they get to the beach and they meet up with their friends. A white couple with their twin daughters. And the white couple, they are lush. They drink. All they do is drink. And it was interesting to me that it seems like they were friends for a while, but Adelaide had issues speaking to the wife. So Adelaide told her, well, I'm not much of a talker and everything like that. And you could tell Adelaide was trying to drum up conversation kind of with the lady. So Jason S. was building, he was digging a tunnel because that's what he told his twin sisters. And they asked the sister, you know, why is your brother so weird? And she said, yeah, he's a little, he marches to his own beat. So Jason decides, the little boy, he decides to go to the restroom. Now, Jason is a typical, 9-year-old. He wears this mask, like this wolf mask or something like that. He reminds me of a kid stuck in the 80s for some reason. But he has this wolf mask that he always wears. And he went to the restroom. When he came out the restroom, he saw somebody standing there like this with a trench coat on, red jumpsuit, high waters, and there's blood dripping from his fingers. So Jason is walking towards it like, what the fuck is this? So Adelaide is sitting down. She's drinking her water and everything like that. And she notices that there's a lot of perfect coincidences happening. And she is a little nervous behind that. So she's looking and she saw that she does not see Jason. So she is automatically, not a 5 minutes here or nothing there, the second she realized that Jason was not where she saw Jason last, she became frantic. So Adelaide starts running frantically looking for Jason, and she's telling Jason, don't do that, I'm always here, don't worry about it, I'm gonna be here. And Jason was like, I just went to pee. But he never said anything about the man he saw standing like this. They get back to the house. Adelaide is nervous. She's looking out the window. She is just like uncomfortable. Her eyes are bugged out. And she was like ready to go. She told Gabe, we got to get out of here. I don't feel comfortable. Let's go. Gabe was like, come, take this dick. Let's have some sex and just relax yourself. But she was like, no, I don't feel comfortable. She then tells him about what happened when she was younger. But I found it interesting that they have been married for how many years, they have 2 kids, and he never heard this story before. And how she was saying the story, she was not, her inflections were going up and down. So I was like, okay, this is kind of weird, but whatever. So she did, you know, went and tell Jason and the daughter goodnight. And Jason drew a picture of the man that was like this. And she was like, who's this? And he said, I don't know. But they had a moment on the bed where she told him, you know, I will never let anything happen to you or whatever like that. If you notice in the movie, they kept doing that. Okay? Remember this? They kept doing that. Alright, so she tells Jason what happened. Not Jason. She tells Gabe what happened. Gabe was like, you bugging. It was just a reflection. It's nothing. It's a fun house. Get over it. She said, I feel like something's about to happen. I don't feel comfortable. Let's go. He was like, nah, you know, nah. So I think if I remember, they heard something outside. And then Jason said there's a family outside. So, oh God, I got nervous. Okay, this movie's scary. But they look outside and they see 4 figures in the shadows, all right? You see they have on red, and that's all you see. So they were like, who's that? Probably a family that, you know, needed help or something like that. So Gabe, corny ass, went outside and basically was like, I don't know who you are, but you might want to get off my property, blah, blah, blah. They ignored him. Gabe went back inside, grabbed the bat, and he basically was trying to threaten them, trying to talk in homeboy, but Gabe is corny as fuck, so he can't really, it sounded corny with him. But so the people were just standing there, and then the next thing you see, they scatter, but the only person that didn't move was one of the figures. They scattered. So Gabe ran into the house. He tried to lock the door and everything like that. They broke the door down. The little girl ran up a tree because it was the girl. Basically, it was their selves. It was the girl. She ran up a tree, and the little boy, he was like on all 4s. And then the big Gabe twin, the clone, was trying to knock in the door. So basically, they got in the house. They hit Gabe with a bat. And then they realized that these people are us, right? So the Adelaide person, they call her Red. She's Adelaide's twin clone. And she was telling the story about what happened. She said that a little girl had always had a shadow, and the shadow did everything she did. But the shadow did not get the beautiful life that the real girl got. when the girl, you know, had sun in her face, the little girl had darkness. So basically, whatever Adelaide got, her opposite got something different. She got the opposite of what she got. Kind of like Bizarro World, kind of. So she was telling a story about, you know, when Adelaide found a husband and got married and had children, she had to marry this man that she did not love and have children that she did not want. And she was saying that Gabe, basically Abraham, I think his name was, the clone of Gabe, he just was a brute. He just was not, he was just a big old brute. And the daughter, she had some weird lace front. I felt that that was weird. And she ain't got no eyebrows. And all she did was smile. She was born laughing. All right. The son, Pluto, he was like an animal. He had a mask on his face, just like Jason, but his mask was kind of like an asylum mask. I don't know, or a gag mask. I don't really know. But he had a mask on. But to me, it seemed like she was closer to Jason. She said that Adelaide had a C-section with Jason. So she, in turn, had to cut Pluto out of her stomach. And she had to basically get him out herself. So to me, I felt like she was a little closer to Pluto because she actually took him out herself. We found out that it was a government experiment that was going on. There's underground subways in the U.S., which is true. Underground subways in the U.S. that the government put down there. They were working on clones. They started with rabbits, but I don't know, they stopped doing the rabbits and they started cloning everybody in the US, and they kept them down there to kind of put them up here, I guess, get rid of us, put them up here so they can control the population. But what they did was, when they cloned them, they couldn't clone their souls. So the clones, the tethered, as we call them, the tethered had no souls. But, you know, the regular people, you and me, we had souls, some of us. But they didn't have souls. So it was basically a failed experiment. They didn't go ahead with the operation. I guess they abandoned those people down there, and they had to kind of live off of the rabbits that, you know, rabbits, once they fuck, they you know, multiply. So that was their food source. They would eat raw rabbits. They weren't learning to talk. They didn't know anything. But Red, Adelaide's tether, talked. But she had a once upon a time. Scared the fuck out of me. I was scared. I had to actually get up and go to the restroom because I was like, I need a break. It was too much. But anyways, so basically, Gabe's tether went to kill him, right? The daughter, Red, told her to run after, I forgot the daughter's name, but run after the daughter. So it was just Adelaide, Pluto, Red, and Jason. So Adelaide told Pluto and Jason to go play, which I found was weird. And then when they went to go play, Jason and Pluto were holding hands as if they were still, you know, they were tethered. So Adelaide actually got handcuffed. Not Pluto, Lord. Red handcuffed her, basically tethering her to the table. Pluto and Jason in the room, and Jason tries to do a magic trick throughout the whole movie with fire, right? And when Pluto took his mask off, Pluto's mouth was burned. So apparently in Bizarro World, Jason playing with these matches, this lighter, Pluto was playing with matches and I guess burned his mouth up, okay? And that actually explains a part where in the real world, they were saying that Jason learned a lot of new words because he started cussing and shit like that. And it would kind of make sense that here it is, Pluto can't speak at all because his mouth is burned. Okay, so Jason and Pluto are in there. Jason finally figured out how to do the trick because he said he did it last year, but he don't remember how to do it. Jason did the trick, and then Pluto was so shocked by it, Jason ended up escaping and running out the room. Red came in there, and Adelaide actually she actually escaped from the table, got a fire poker, and basically tried to run away, got Jason and ran out the house and tried to run away from Red and Pluto. So they got into Gabe's boat. Gabe done kill his clone, got into Gabe's boat. The daughter got in the boat too, and they drove off to their neighbor's house, the white people. So, get to the white people's house. They are there. The wife sees somebody outside. And the next thing you know, their clones came in and killed them. Now, I thought that it was just the Wilson family, Adelaide and her people there, that only had clones, but everybody had clones. So they got killed by their clones. So Adelaide then gone to their house for safety because they still don't know. This is basically an apocalypse of clones. They don't know. Got to the house. The clones grabbed them. The male white clone tried to kill Gabe. Gabe ended up killing him. The daughter, G is shit. She killed both the daughter clones, the twin clones, and then they got to the room where they kept Adelaide. They actually tethered Adelaide again to a bed, but they never killed her. It looks like none of the tethers wanted to kill Adelaide because Red probably wanted to kill Adelaide herself. So they ended up killing the wife. The daughter ended up coming in there. They ended up killing the wife. They ended up finding out that this is an epidemic going on all over the place. They gotta go. Adelaide forgot the keys, and she went back into the house, and one of the tethers were gone. I don't know if it was one of the daughters or the mom. And Adelaide killed her. But when Adelaide killed her, she was making the weirdest noises. But anyway, Jason came in, saw her, and then they left. They're driving trying to go to Mexico because Adelaide said we have to go to Mexico. They're driving, and then the daughter, the clone daughter, sees them and tries to attack them. She jumps on the car and everything like that. Now the daughter, the real daughter, is driving the car, and she is driving to the full speed where she wants to kill this girl. So she's driving, she stops the car, and the girl flies through a tree. Adelaide gets out the car and goes to look to see if the girl is actually dead. And the girl is in a tree, mangled in a tree, laughing, and that's how she dies. So they're driving, and they finally end up downtown. Now they see bodies scattered. Okay, they see bodies all over the place. They see basically everybody's dead. All right. Then Adelaide's driving, and then she sees Pluto. Now, Pluto is walking from the fire. Now, this is the first time that I'm actually seeing Pluto walk. Pluto never walked before. So, we see Pluto walking. There's a car is on fire, and he's walking from the car towards their car. Adelaide gets out the car, and she is walking towards him. Then, when Adelaide looks down, she sees that it was a trap. He basically set up a trail of gas, and he had the match, and he was going to flick the match. Jason saw there was a trap, came out. Jason started doing this, and he walked backwards. That way, Pluto, because he is his clone, started walking backwards as well. When Pluto did that, he basically burned up in the fire. Adelaide was screaming, no, no, no. While Jason was walking backwards, Red grabbed him up and took him. Alright, so Adelaide realized that her son was gone. So Adelaide went to the fun house because she was going to get her son back. But if you notice, Adelaide knew exactly where she was going. Adelaide knew exactly where she was going. She went down the subway, she went down the escalators, everything like that. Adelaide got down there, and she saw Red in the classroom. And there was a bunch of paper stick figures on the chalkboard, tethered together. There was handprints on the walls and everything like that. Red started basically telling the story. Now, the way they filmed it, it was like you see Adelaide in the back trying to sneak up on Red, but Red is like the camera is right in Red's face. So, Lupita, bitch, you deserve all of the awards because you played the fuck out of these characters. But anyway, basically what the story is saying is that Red said that in the fun house, she got choked out. See, Red is the real Adelaide. She got choked out by fake Adelaide, which is Lupita, you know, today's Adelaide. She got choked out. Adelaide, fake Adelaide, brought her down to where they are now, tethered her to a bed, changed her clothes, and went up to live her life. So she's been down there for 30 years. That is why she's the only one that can talk. She's the only one that can talk, and they knew that she was different because she can talk. So, but I think with her voice, maybe when fake Adelaide strangled her, it kind of fucked up her voice box. Or the fact that she didn't have anybody to talk to, so her voice is kind of strained. But she knew how to talk because she's the real Adelaide. So, she said that she said that, you know, she's been down there for 30 years. And basically, fake Adelaide has been living her life all this time. And she wanted to kill her. She wanted to untether herself from her. So now it's like, okay, Red is the real Adelaide. Lupita is the fake one. So you are rooting for fake Lupita, but the real Lupita is the real Lupita. So they started fighting. And the fact that Adelaide, real Adelaide, Red, was able to know which way fake Adelaide was going to go because fake Adelaide was her clone. So she was able to, I guess, tussle with her. They started kind of fighting with these scissors and stuff like that. And then the next thing you know, they got into the bedroom and fake Adelaide stabbed Lupita, real Adelaide, with the scissors and killed her. And when she stabbed her, she made this type noise. Something weird. Anyway, she stabbed her with the scissors. She dies. Okay? Fake Adelaide goes to get Jason. She knew exactly where Jason was. And I think Jason was in the room when real Lupita was saying what happened. So he now knows that his mom is not the real one. So she was telling him, you know, I'm here. It's okay. Or do you believe that everything is going to be okay? And Jason says, no, he does not. At this moment, Jason has now become untethered from his mother. Okay, you saw that they had a bond in the beginning of the movie. They were all good. But the second that Jason realized that this is not the real mother, the real Adelaide, he instantly became untethered from his mother. So they decided to drive off. They were in an ambulance. They decided to drive off. Lupita's driving. Jason's in the front seat. And Jason has one of the rabbits with him. I don't know what the fuck he took, a souvenir. But he had one of the rabbits with him. And Lupita looks over at Jason, kind of giving him a grin. And Jason puts his mask down, basically trying to... I think he used the mask to kind of hide when he's scared. And I think that's what he did. And I think that's the moment when Jason became untethered with his mother. So the last shot you see is basically them doing the Hands Across America. Now, Lupita was the master... Well, real Lupita, who was down there, Red, she was the mastermind of this whole takeover. Lupita remembered the Hands Across America thing from the commercial. The thing that Lupita didn't know is how Hands Across America ended. She only saw the commercial about it going on, but she didn't see what happened after. So you see the shot of the hills, and you see all these clones, all these tethers lined up in a chain, basically over hills, valleys, and streams, with Mimi Ripperton singing my favorite song. And like it shows. It was interesting to see that, and then you see helicopters, I guess the government trying to get to these people or trying to kill them or whatever the case may be. So basically the whole US were now occupied by clones, and then everybody was dead. And that's how it went off. That was a mouthful. Okay. I had some questions. Okay. I had some questions, and I don't know. I thought Jason was switched out. Now, the reason I felt Jason was switched out at one point, the car scene where they were playing I Got Five on It, which I would never listen to that song again, because Jordan Peele fucked that up for me. But they were listening to I Got Five on It. The daughter knew the song. The dad knew the song. They were both singing. Lupita did not know the song because she was the fake Adelaide. So she didn't really know the song. And Jason didn't know the song. So he was asking if the song was about drugs. And, you know, they said no. And Lupita was trying to get him to get on beat. But she was off beat because she ain't right. She ain't real. She's a tether. Okay? And Jason started to get off beat as well. And I don't know if it's because of their connection or the fact that he was a clone as well. But you got to remember that the kids are hybrids. They're half clone. Even though clones are real, they're real people, but they're half clone. So I think that's why it was so easy for them to kill the clones, because they didn't care. They were kind of soulless a little bit. But I think Lupita, fake Lupita, got a soul after she had kids or whatever. I don't really know. But that was my question. Like, was he a clone? And the weird things that were going on with him, was he a clone as well? But I kind of figured out he wasn't a clone. The second question I had is, where the fuck they get these jumpsuits and the scissors from? Now, I know that this was a failed government experiment and then they, the government left them there. But where they get the scissors from, the custom scissors, mind you, where they get the red jumpsuits from, and where they get them shoes from? Because they all had on the same shoes. And if you notice, Adelaide and real Adelaide and fake Adelaide had on the shoes. So I don't know where fake Adelaide got the shoes from, because she was not down there since she was a child. So where she get the shoes from, I don't really know. But everybody had on the same shoes. But where did they get them from? Was somebody coming down there and handing them out provisions, whatever? And why is it that they never came up from underground before? Because it looks like it was just a escalator ride. Like, why is it that they never came up before? And who was cleaning up the place? Like, were they cleaning up the place while they were down there? Because it was very immaculate, and the bunnies were in cages, and so it's like, I felt like if they were cloned and they did everything that their other half did, it didn't make sense that when they came up, the only person that did what the other clone did, what the other person did, was Pluto. Pluto was the only one that followed what Jason did, but the others didn't. And I didn't know if it was based on you had to be down there in order to mimic what your real person did. And if that's the case, wouldn't real Lupita, who's in the dungeon, control fake Lupita, who's on Earth? Even though we're all on Earth. There was a lot of questions that needed answers. And I know Jordan Peele is not going to answer them. But I just have questions. Like, is there going to be a part 2? And how did she find Gabe? I know Adelaide, they went off to college and all that stuff. So did the clones follow them everywhere they go? That part I didn't understand. Because Gabe is from somewhere else. So how did fake Adelaide downstairs find this Abraham? How did she find him? Did they stay in California? Or it's a lot of things that need to be explained. Alright, y'all. So what I basically got from the meaning of the movie is, and it reminds me a lot of what's going on in our society today. It may not be this, but this is just my theory. The fact that the people are on the lower level, they are clones, they are basically drones. I think this is where I think it's a lot of classism. I think it's the lower class are being controlled. You know, you have government assistance, you have all these stuff that the lower class is being controlled by. You have homelessness, all that stuff. You have the people who are upper middle class, who are higher up above ground. They are just living their lives fancy free and not thinking about the people that are lower. I think it has a lot to do with us as Americans, not necessarily black and white, but I think it has a lot to do with Americans and classism and all that stuff. I could be wrong. As far as the tethers binding together in red jumpsuits across the land and valleys and all that, it reminded me of redlining. And it was interesting that when the Tethers, the family of Tethers got to Lupita's house, and there was like, you know, somebody said, "Who are you?" And then Lupita Red said, "We're Americans." So it's like, it does remind me of, we're all Americans, but then there are some Americans that are treated worse than other Americans just because they can't afford to provide for themselves properly, or don't have the means to provide for themselves because there's not a lot of economic dollars going to that community or something like that. So I think that's what the movie was about. I don't know. Or Jordan Peele is telling us that we all got clones, and every time you see somebody that look like you, that might be a clone, and you gotta kill them. I really don't know. But that was my quick, I don't know if this was quick, but that was my synopsis of Us. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was very smart. It is something that you have to think about. I did watch it like this, but I got the gist of the movie, okay? And I know a lot of people said they didn't like it because a lot of people didn't understand what the fuck was going on. But I kind of figured it out. But all in all, I think the movie was amazing. I love the movie so much. I definitely will watch it again in the daytime with the lights on, you know, breeze blowing, windows open. I probably will watch it. I won't watch it at night. But I thought it was a great movie. So let me know what you thought about the movie. Let me know what theories that you have, what you think what was going on. If you're confused about anything, let me know. I can probably try to answer it for you for what I think. And yeah, so I give the movie an A+. Jordan did an amazing job. Lupita gave her all her fucking things. Winston Duke, baby. all that man. You saw when he was on the bed and his thighs were just like, anyways, that's not what this. Anyways, let me know what you thought about the movie, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.